Good morning, students. We are going to start with mathematics. Now, students, in standard 9th, mathematics is divided into two parts. Part 1, part 2. Right? Part 1 is algebra and part 2 is geometry. So, students, I am going to deal with geometry for standard 9th in this year. Okay, students, let us begin our first topic. Okay, we start with our first topic, that is basic concepts in geometry. Right, this is what we are going to start with in our today's lecture. So let us discuss certain concept. First, we start with point. Okay, now when we talk about a point, okay, a point is, it cannot be defined. A point cannot be defined. It's an undefined concept in geometry. Right, students? Similarly, when you talk about point, let's say this is how I'm going to represent a point, and let's say we name the point. This is point A. So here when we talk about point, we are going to write it this way, point A, and this point A is used to locate the position. Right, so basic work of point is used to locate the position. Then we talk with our next concept. The next thing that we need to understand is a line. Now even a line cannot be defined. When you talk about a line, students, even line cannot be defined. So if I want to represent a line, what is a line? A line is a set of points. A line is a set of points. And remember, students, a line can be extended on both sides. That's why an arrow is mentioned on both sides of the line. Okay, so what is the point that you need to remember over here, students? A line is a set of points which can be extended on both the side. Okay, which can be extended on both the side. Now if I want to name this line, let us take any point on the line. So any 2 points we have taken, and now I'm going to denote this as line AB. Is it clear, students? So this is how we can name a line. This is line AB, correct? I can also call this as line BA. Is it clear, students? Now the next concept that we are going to learn is a plane. Now even when we talk about a plane, even I can say that a plane is also an undefined concept in geometry. But what exactly is a plane? If I want to say now, any flat surface is what we call it as a plane. Like I can draw it like this, and let's say if I name this plane over here, this is plane A, B, C, D. So when we talk about a plane, students, a plane is any flat surface. So when we talk about a plane, it's a flat surface. Like let's take an example of this board. This board is a flat surface. Now since it's a flat surface, it is a plane. And if I want to name this plane now, I'm going to call this as plane A, B, C, D. So this is how I'm going to name the plane. Let us understand further, students, with few more concepts. Now students, in our lower standard, we learnt about number lines, correct? Let's draw a basic number line over here. I think, students, everybody is aware what is a number line. A number line, it consists of positive numbers, negative numbers and 0. So let's draw a number line over here. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Similarly over here, -1, -2, -3 and so on. Correct. Now as we can see, there are set of positive numbers, negative numbers and 0. So it's a number line, and each point on the number line, okay, if I want to name these points, let's say 0, this is O, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so these are the set of points on the number line, and what do we observe? That every point on the number line will correspond to a number. Is it clear? So remember students, the number which is associated with a point on the number line, is called as the coordinate of that point. Like if I want to say that the coordinate of point A means, look at point A. What is the number associated with this point? So over here the number associated with point A is 1. So I can also write this as coordinate of point A is 1. Similarly, if a question is asked, what is the coordinate of point E? So what I have to think, what is a number that is associated with this point? So point E, coordinate. So we can write this as E is minus 2. So this is how we can understand about a coordinate of any particular point. So what exactly is a coordinate, students? Now the number which is associated with any point on the number line is called as the coordinate of that point. Is it clear, students? After understanding the coordinate of the point, let's understand, students, how to find the distance between any two points, okay, between any points on the number line. This is our next concept that we are going to understand. That suppose there is a number line given and they will ask us to find distance between any 2 points on the number line. So how are we going to find it? Let's try and understand. Suppose a question is asked, find distance BE. Okay, a question is asked, find distance BE. So what am I supposed to do now in this case? First we will write the coordinates which are associated with those points, like B coordinate. So the coordinate of B is what? 2. Similarly, which is the next point over here? E. So we'll look at the coordinate of E. E coordinate is minus 2. Now remember, students, since we are supposed to find the distance between these 2 points, that is B and E. Now there is a formula to find distance between any point on the number line, and the formula goes like this. Suppose if I want to find distance BE, so it is represented like this, distance BE, and the formula is greater coordinate minus smaller coordinate. Okay, so it means this is the formula. It means we are supposed to find between 2 and minus 2. We can make out, students, that 2 is the greater coordinate and minus 2 is the smaller coordinate. So therefore can I say over here that 2 greater than minus 2, that is 2 is the greater coordinate and minus 2 is the smaller coordinate. So over here 2 minus, is it clear? This is what is minus. Greater coordinate I have written 2 minus smaller coordinate. Now look at the smaller coordinate, minus 2. Now we also know, students, in mathematics, minus minus is plus. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So I'm going to write this as 4 units. 4 units. Is it clear, students? Now one more point that you need to understand, students, distance between any 2 points on the number line cannot be negative. Okay, I repeat, distance between any 2 points on the number line cannot be negative. It means the answer for distance will be always positive. So this is how we are going to find the distance between any 2 points on the number line. Is it clear, students? Okay, let's take some example now to study this. Let us start with practice set 1.1 and let's solve the problems which are based on these concepts. Okay students, so let's understand over here now. So practice set 1.1 we are going to start, and they have given us the number line over here. I am drawing that number line over here. Okay, I am drawing the number line. Okay, let's start with certain examples about how to find the distance between the point. So the example that I am taking over here, let's say distance JA. So the question that they have asked, find distance JA. So what we have to do is that we have to observe this number line, and using this number line we should be able to find distance JA. So for that, let us first write coordinates. So coordinate of J, see over here, coordinate of J is what? -2. Similarly, next is A. Let's write the coordinate of A is what? 1. Okay, after mentioning the coordinate, students, what are we going to write? Which is the greater coordinate and which is the smaller coordinate? So that's what we are going to compare over here. So when we observe these numbers, we observe that 1 is greater than -2. Correct? Now let us apply the formula to find the distance, that is distance JA equal to greater coordinate minus smaller coordinate. So that will be greater coordinate is 1 minus sign and this -2. So you know again students, minus is plus. So 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So this is 3 units. This is how we are going to find the distance. Is it clear? Again, what do we observe students? Distance is positive. Let's see what is the next distance that we are supposed to find. Let's take a next example students. Let's say it is distance PC. Distance PC. Again students, here we are supposed to write the coordinate. So let's write down the coordinate of P, okay, and coordinate of C. So P, look at this point P over here on the number line. The coordinate associated with this point is -4. Next, C, number associated is 3. After doing this students, again find out which is the greater coordinate and which is the smaller coordinate. So when we compare both the numbers, we observe that 3 is greater than -4. Let us apply the formula now. Distance PC is equal to greater coordinate minus smaller coordinate. Is it clear students? So over here greater coordinate is 3, correct, and smaller coordinate is -4, but I am going to write this minus first and -4. Again we know the pattern students, minus is plus. So 3 plus 4, that is equal to 7 units. Is it clear students? Again we observe that distance is positive. So this is an important point to remember, students. Whenever you calculate distance between any 2 points, your answer has to be always positive. You cannot get a negative answer. So please remember this important point for the examination point of view. So I hope now with these 2 examples and the previous explanation, I hope you understood how to calculate the distance between any 2 points on the number line. Is it clear, students? Now after understanding how to calculate distance between any 2 points on the number line, students, let us understand one important property. Okay, the property that we are going to understand is betweenness property. Okay, the property that we are going to understand is betweenness property. Now, how to understand betweenness property? Like, for example, let us start with one example over here. For finding whether there exists a betweenness or not, you will be provided with 3 distance. Like here, an example that I am taking, distance PR is 7, distance PQ is 10, and distance QR is 3. Now, in the exam, students, a question will be asked to you, identify whether there is betweenness property among the given set of points or not. Now, what exactly is betweenness? Let's try and understand. First of all, if I look at the distance, one is PR, next is PQ and QR. If I notice, if I observe these points, for all this distance, there are 3 points involved, and the points involved are P, Q and R. Right? These are the 3 set of points that we have. These are the 3 points that we have, and based on that, these are the distance. Right? Now we need to decide out of these points P, Q and R, which point will come in the middle. Right? Which point will come in between the other 2 points, and that's why we call it as betweenness property. Now how to judge whether between this point P, Q and R, which point will come in the middle? Let's understand. So for that, students, very simple. Out of the 3 distance given, first find out which is the bigger distance, which is the greater distance. Like here we notice that distance PQ, which is 10, is greater. Right? So we take the greater distance as 1. Is it clear, students? Now you have 2 smaller distance over here. Which are the 2 smaller distance if I notice now? Distance PR and distance QR. Now what am I supposed to do, students? I'm going to add the 2 smaller distance. Let us add over here distance PR plus distance PR plus distance QR. That is 7 plus 3, and if we add, the answer is 10. Let's take this answer as 2. Now compare our statement number 1 and statement number 2 and see whether the value for distance is same or not. What do we observe over here? That the value for distance in both the case is same. So can I say like this over here, that from 1 and 2, we can say over here that distance PQ is equal to distance PR plus distance QR. That is, we say over here that a greater distance is equal to sum of the 2 smaller distance. Right? When this happens, students, where a greater distance is equal to sum of the 2 smaller distance, we say that there is a property of betweenness among the point. Is it clear, students? So therefore, since here this is happening, both the distances are equal, there is a property of betweenness. But how to find which point will come in the middle now? Look at this distance, 2 distance, which is a common point over here. Obviously students, point R. So here point R will come in the middle, and the other point, that is Q and P, they will come. So I can write this, the betweenness property, as P dash R dash Q. What is the meaning of P dash R dash Q now? That is R lies between P and Q. Or what is the other way that I can represent this now? If I don't want to represent in P dash R dash Q, again the other way is R, which will come in the middle, and just slightly interchange the position. So what do I get? Q and P. So betweenness property I can represent now P dash R dash Q or Q dash R dash P. What exactly is a betweenness property, students? You will get to know which point will come in the middle. And again, for betweenness property to exist, greater distance should be always equal to sum of the two smaller distance. And when this happens, students, we say that there is a property of betweenness. Is it clear, students? Let's discuss one more problem based on this concept of betweenness, okay, from practice set 1.1. Let's understand with the next example whether there is a property of betweenness that is existing among these points. Okay, let's see the example now, students. This is from question number 3. Okay, from question number 3 I am taking, let's say, second example. Distance RS is 8, distance ST is 6, distance RT, okay, is 4. Let's take this as given information. Now students, here we need to find out whether there exists a betweenness property among the points or not. Now how to find out? As I told you, students, first find out which is a greater distance. Here the greater distance is distance RS. So let's take distance RS 8, assume this as 1. Correct? Now which are the two smaller distance? ST and RT. What am I supposed to do? Add the two smaller distance. So therefore distance ST plus distance RT, so that will be equal to 6 plus 4, 10. Again students, compare the two values. After comparing the two values, this time what do we observe? That from 1 and 2 the distances are not equal. So therefore we write down over here, from 1 and 2 distance RS is not equal to distance ST plus distance RT. Now remember students, if the distances are not equal, then there is no property of betweenness among the points. Which are the points involved over here now? R, S, T. So therefore we are going to write, therefore there is no property of betweenness among points R, S and T. So this is how students we are going to determine whether there is property of betweenness or not. Right students, if the distances are equal, there is a property of betweenness, and the common point between these two smaller distance will lie in the middle. But suppose if the distances are not equal, like we can see in this case that the distances are not equal, so we say that there is no property of betweenness existing among the point R, S and T. Okay students, so this is all about betweenness concept in geometry. Now what we will do students, we will do one more sum from this practice set. Okay students, let's try and understand over here. question number 4. Okay, now we have to consider the possibilities over here. Like they have given us three distance AC they have given 10, distance CB they have given 8. They have asked you to find distance AB, and in the question one important point they have given, consider all possibilities. Consider all possibilities. This is what is given in the question. Okay, so these are the distance that are given to us. Now we need to consider all the possibilities. Now first thing, look at the distance over here. AC 10, CB 8, AB we need to find. Now all three possibilities means what? There are 3 points. First of all, let me make it very clear that there are 3 points, A, B and C. What could be our 3 possibilities? First one will be B is coming in the middle. That could be one possibility. Second case will be what? C is coming in the middle, right? And the last case will be what? A is coming in the middle, right students? So these are our all possibilities. So by considering all the possibilities, that is A dash B dash C, A dash C dash B and C dash A dash B, we need to find this distance AB in each of the possible case. So let us solve this sum now students. We will take case 1. And our case 1, as I told you now students, it is A dash B dash C. Correct students? It is A dash B dash C. Now I can form a figure also representing this. A dash B dash C, just you have to draw a segment like this where you have to mention A dash B dash C. Okay students, now let's write down the given information in this figure. Distance AC. So if I notice, this is full distance AC 10, distance CB. So distance CB is over here 8. We are supposed to find distance AB. So now let us apply the betweenness property. Now here if you notice, according to the figure, AC is the greater distance. Now AC, if I look into this figure, AC is made up of 2 parts, AB and BC. So let us apply betweenness property. So distance AC is equal to distance AB plus distance BC. Okay students, this is according to case 1, A dash B dash C. So in bracket write down the reason A dash B dash C. Okay, that is a greater distance is equal to sum of the 2 smaller distance, and this is according to betweenness property A dash B dash C. Is it clear students? Now let us substitute the value. Distance AC is 10, AB we are supposed to find, and BC given in the question 8. Now plus 8, on the other side minus. So distance AB is 10 minus 8. This is 2 units. So we got distance AB as 2 units in the first case. Let's take the next case over here. The next case, that is case 2. If we look at now, A dash C dash B. Let's draw a figure based on that. So if we see CB, okay, let's write down the value now. AC is 10, so in place of AC 10, CB is 8. Asked you to find distance AB. Let's find out now. Again A dash C dash B. So you know here AB, according to the figure, AB is greater, and AB is made up of 2 parts, that is AC and CB. So let's write down distance AB is equal to distance AC plus distance CB. Again students, in bracket we need to write down the reason. A dash C dash B, that is a greater distance is equal to sum of the two smaller distance. Let's substitute the value. AB we are supposed to find, so I am going to write it as it is. AC, we know the value is 10 and this is 8, so 10 plus 8 is 18 units. So we got over here distance AB as 18 units. Let's move on to case 3. Okay, case 3 is C dash A dash B. Let's write down C dash A dash B. Let's draw a figure accordingly. So over here C, A and B. Is it clear students? C, A and B. So this is what we have. Let's write down the distance now. AC is 10. CB, full CB is 8. And AB is question mark. Again, look at the figure. When you look at the figure, CB is the greater distance because we are going to follow the figure. So CB is equal to distance CA plus distance AB, in bracket reason C dash A dash B. Correct? Let us substitute the value now. Okay students, so distance CB, okay, it's 8, distance CA 10, distance AB we are supposed to find. Now this is plus 10 students, goes on the other side, becomes minus 10. So what do we have over here? Distance AB is 8 minus 10. And if we do 8 minus 10 students, the answer is minus 2 units. Now you remember students, I told you something. Whenever we calculate distance, the distance between any 2 points cannot be negative. So here when we notice the distance is negative, so if the distance between any 2 points is negative, means this possibility cannot exist. So here C dash A dash B is not possible. This possibility does not exist. Is it clear students? So this is all about finding the distance and betweenness property students. Now what I want is students, you can practice set 1.1 and you will be easily able to solve, I think, the entire practice set 1.1. okay, still few sums we will discuss in our next lecture students, but till then I want you all to practice all the concepts which are based on finding the distance and betweenness property from practice set 1.1. So students, bye, take care and have a nice time.